and welcome to my channel. My name is Megan for those of you who are new here, and if you're returning for another video, thank you guys all so much. No matter how many times you clicked in, I promise you're appreciated, and I'm so happy that you are here with me. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the 10 things that you absolutely have to let go of in order to live a happier and healthier life. And I want to do this during Vlogmas because we're a couple days away from Christmas, which means we're a couple days away from a new year. And you guys know that I'm super big about, hey, we got to live in this moment. We got to do these things now. However, if it's something that you want to wait till New Year's for and make it your New Year's resolution, then I'm absolutely here for that as well. So I figured doing this video right before the new year is good. Here are some things that you're going to go over, we're going to talk about, that you need to be able to let go of to move forward and being happy and being healthy. And I hope that these steps truly do help. I've got 10-ish ideas and things that we want to talk about of what we need to let go of to have a better version of our lives. Okay, so first and foremost, the number one thing is unrealistic expectations. And this sounds so common sense, but it's not. And a lot of the time we have these expectations of ourselves, and they're set for ourselves. They're set from our friends and our family and our teachers and our coaches and our jobs and all these people who have these expectations of us. And when that happens, we typically tend to put the pressure on ourselves. It causes anxiety. It causes way too much stress within ourselves because we are so worried and so fearful of what is to come. And we have to meet these expectations. I mean, it's something that all of our lives we're told we need to do, or just in school for the last 4 years we're told we need to do, whatever the case is, that we're setting these unrealistic expectations. Now, you guys know I'm a dreamer. I'm ambitious. I am super big about manifesting and getting what you want and talking about the future and different ideas and things like that. But one thing that I don't personally do is I do not set unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic. I keep saying that weird. Unrealistic. I can really say it. Unrealistic expectations of myself because I don't want to stress myself out to the point where if I'm like, hey, you know, by this date I want to have this amount of dollars, or by this date I want to be this person, or I want to be here, I'm setting an expectation that's just not going to happen, and it's going to, I know myself, cause me to be really upset, I'm going to be disappointed, and I don't want to do that to myself. So I set smaller scale things. I set smaller expectations. I maybe do shorter time frames. I maybe do shorter amounts of money or shorter ideas, and eventually you can lead up to those goals and to the things that you expect of yourself and of your life and maybe other people expect of you. But setting this really high standard and expectation of where you need to be and what you need to do, it's not realistic, and all you're going to do is drive yourself absolutely nuts. So that is the first and one of the biggest ones, is stop setting these really unrealistic expectations. And you know what I'm talking about when I'm saying this. There's so many examples that I can say, but I'm sure that something kind of came to your mind that you've set in the past, or maybe you're even aiming for right now. And that's not to discourage you, but it's just to kind of slow you down and bring you back down to earth so you do not drive yourself crazy and be upset with yourself and you're angry and you're mad if you don't meet these expectations. Number 2 is emotional baggage. And guys, this is a huge one because we all have that, right? We all have baggage, we all have issues, we all have trauma and pain and history and all these things that cause us to carry this emotional baggage and bad things with us. But how many of us are taking the time to actively and consciously deal with it? And you guys know I'm big for counseling. You guys know I do believe that you can talk to certain people. You do want to make sure you're getting an unbiased opinion, so I don't always suggest family and friends, but to an extent that can be okay. But you have to do some sort of active healing, and you can't just wait until you crumble and you're just, you know, on your deathbed of emotions before you can deal with these baggages and the emotion baggage that is coming, that is attached to you. Because if you don't, where are you going to end up? You're going to go another year of being absolutely miserable, having this attachment, having these emotional baggages, and you're going to carry that into the new year, into your new relationships, into your new job and your school and your career and all these opportunities that could be great if you just helped yourself by healing this baggage. So that is number 2. You have to be able to let go of your emotional baggage. If you're going through a breakup, if your family is getting divorced, if you got fired from your job, if you are leaving a toxic relationship, if you've lost a friend, whatever the case is, if you keep holding on to that emotional baggage, you are giving it the power. You guys know I hate that. Stop giving those things the power, okay? Let go of your baggage, strip yourself of it. And it's easier said than done. I understand that. I'm still dealing with my own baggage and things that I am personally trying to figure out, but I go to counseling for that. I read a lot of self-help books, okay? I'm reading a book right now about some of my own baggage, my own issues that I know, hey, I need to deal with this because moving forward, I don't want to keep having that. It's a repeat of history, and I'm holding on to the baggage, keeping the baggage. What is the point? Like, where are we going to get with this? So Number 2, let go of your baggage. If you don't know how, reach out to somebody. If you need to reach out to somebody and you don't know where to start, reach out to me. I can point you in a perfect direction of who you could talk to, where you can go, resources, things like that, because until you let go of this baggage, you're not going to really get anywhere. You're going to go into a new year and a new thing, like I mentioned, with the same baggage, the same issues, the same hurt, and where is that taking you? How has that worked for you so far? Number 3, and this one's going to seem like, I don't know about that one, but I think it's very true, is letting go of like the stagnant place that you're in. So while we know that it's important to be grateful and happy and excited about where you are right now in life, it is also really, really important to make sure that you're ambitious and you're driven by different goals, and you don't just sit in this like place of content forever, because when you do that, you're literally sitting in like a middle ground. You're not going down, and that's great, but you're also not going up, which means you're not learning, you're not healing, you're not processing and moving forward, you're not setting yourself up for future wealth and health for your family and for your friends and relationships. You're just sitting here. And while that can be a safe place, and that's what we're going to talk about in a minute, but being in the middle can be safe, it's not always the best thing for you. So being able to let go of that comfort zone, which is really, I think, down here somewhere on my list, but letting go of your comfort zone and that place of just happy where I'm at, and just being content and just being stagnant is super important, because you got to push yourself to learn more. You've got to push yourself to heal more and meet new people and try a different religion or try different foods or travel more, whatever the case is. If you sit in this place of just middle ground of safety and inside your comfort zone, what are you really experiencing that's different? You're living day in and day out in the same life, experiencing the same things. And again, let me ask you, how is that working out for you? Number 4, letting go of toxic relationships. Guys, we are in 2020, and I can admit that I have also been very guilty of holding on to toxic relationships. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about with friends, people that I should have let the hell go when I needed them out of my life, and they should have been out of my life. Talking about family, I'm talking about even coworkers, and trying to like nurture these relationships, because I'm an empath and I feel like it's my job to be nice to everybody, but I've held on to toxic relationships way too tight. And when you hold it on and you're holding on, all it's doing is strangling you and driving you absolutely freaking nuts. Let them go. If it is in any way, shape, or form bad for you, you gotta let it go. And I'm gonna leave you with this quote, because one of my favorite motivational speakers said this. This was a religious motivational speaker. However, he said something along the lines of, you need to let go of people who are not only anchors in your life, meaning holding you down and dragging you down, but people who even so much as slow you down. So if they slow you down in any way, shape, or form, if somebody cannot share your wins with you and they're not excited for you, if you can't go to somebody with a new business idea or a new venture or something that you want to try, if you cannot share your happiness and your good moments and your bad moments with a significant other or a friend or whoever the case is, in any way, shape, or form it is toxic or slowing you down, it is time to let it go. We're not going into a new year holding on to those relationships, and it's okay. I'm giving you permission in this video. So when we're done, when you're finished watching this video and you get to all 10 steps, text that person, call that person. If you're with them right now, drop it, leave it alone. You don't even really need to talk to them about it. Just leave it alone and let it go, because until you do so, you're going into another year, another month, another week, another day. Even another day is too much, but you're going into more time giving way too much energy, way too much power, and way too much unfairness to yourself and giving it to somebody else. So you already know what I'm going to ask. How is that working for you? Okay, so number 5/6, I'm going to kind of tie these in together, is stop being a people pleaser. And I know this one's hard. This is hard for me, but learning how to say no is important. Learning how to stop caring what other people think. Stop worrying about what other people's opinions and their views are. And because you're doing that, when you do that, you're worried so much about pleasing other people that you tend to let other people's opinions and their whatever they have to say come into your relationship, come into your job, come into your decisions about life and about marriage and about sex and about all these things. And why? I mean, why are you doing that? You're trying so hard to appease other people and to make everybody else happy that you're forgetting yourself and that your opinion matters because you're living your life. Now, I have done a video about this before. You guys know that I do believe that your family and your closest friends and things like that have your best interest in mind and in heart. But at the same time, they do not always know your own decisions. Sometimes you go past this pain? Do you grow past this thing that they think maybe they know best and they don't? So it's a very fine line to walk there, but you have to figure out how to stop people pleasing so much that you exclude your own pleasing of your own self and taking care of your own being. Okay, so I think we're gonna kind of just call this number 7 now, and I'm all out of order, but is stop trying to be perfect. And that sounds like common sense, but a lot of the time this goes along with those toxic relationships and things like that. When you're trying to keep somebody or a group or a place or a religion or a whatever appeased and happy, sometimes you try really, really hard to just be perfect. You know, you don't do the things that they say you're not supposed to do. You don't talk to people you don't your friend doesn't want you to talk to, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend doesn't want you to talk to. You don't go to the places your family doesn't want you to talk to, because you're trying to fit this perfect little stinking mold and fit inside this stupid little box that somebody or people or society has created for you, and you're trying to be just entirely too perfect, and we already know that that's not working, right? So you can sit here all day and you can make these changes and you can be this perfect person and fit into this mold, into this box, but all you're doing is dimming your own light. You're adjusting to other people and you're trying to make them be and see you as whatever they want to be and see you as. But you're playing perfect, okay? Nobody is perfect, and your flaws and your corniness and your uniqueness and the crazy loud, even the mean and the crazy insane parts and the traumatic parts about you are special, and it is special and unique to you. It's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We know that. But that's the beauty of not fitting inside of somebody else's box. So do not try to fit this perfect mold for this person or those people or whatever the case may be, because it's not going to work, and you're going to go further down in life and you're going to have realized that you don't fit this mold, and you're going to resent this person or these people, and they're going to realize that, hey, this person is shining a little bit more and showing a little bit too much personality that I'm not used to, and now they're outside of my perfect mold and my vision of what perfect is, and they're going to be mad at you and resent you, and then how much time have you wasted? So not only are you going from 2020 to 2021 in this weird trying to be perfect, fitting this clay mold, but you're going to do that for the rest of your life, or until this relationship or this job or whatever the case is. So stop trying to be perfect. Just be unique, be yourself, be your own version of who you are, because you guys already know that is so necessary. The world needs you, not 5,000 other perfect people in some crazy weirdo's mind. But I'm gonna stop counting because I honestly don't remember what I did, but let go of bad and unhealthy habits. Now this one again is easier said than done, but if you know that you have a bad habit of overeating when you're upset or when you're sad, you got to figure out how to consciously stop that. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I love to sit there and I can eat a whole pack of Oreo cookies. Not even when I'm sad, just because I like Oreo cookies. But it's a bad habit, and something that, you know, I've had to break out of that a couple times, because you know that Oreo cookies are more addicting than some drugs. That's insane. So I've had my fight with that, but I know that I need to step back and stop and let go of that and stop the craziness. So if you know that you eat bad when you're upset, or just because you eat bad, then you have to stop that. If you have a bad habit of hanging out with the wrong people, or you have a bad habit of going to the wrong places or doing these wrong things, you know it. And one of the things that my little sister says that I've learned from her, and she's younger than me, is when you know better, you do better. So if you know you have a bad habit, or you know you have a bad thing that you just keep doing and keep doing and keep doing, you know it. So now you have to do better. You have to stop. You have to consciously make it an effort to heal, to fix it, to move forward, to stop that thing, because it is not working for you. And until you're able to do that and let it go, you're never going to be able to be fully happy, because you're going to keep repeating these stupid cycles and these stupid bad habits and these stupid bad things that you're doing. And where is that going? Next one is pride. We've got to let go of our pride. And I'm not just talking to the men, because I think that's something that gets tagged on and it gets pinned to men specifically, but I'm not just talking to men. I'm talking to women as well. I'm talking to families. I'm talking to mothers, fathers, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, teachers, everybody. Let go of the pride. And again, it's easier said than done. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I've had some very prideful moments, okay, where I'm like, I'm not apologizing. I know I'm right. I'm not going to do this, because I'm very headstrong and I wanted to be prideful in that moment. But at the end of the day, all of those situations did not benefit me in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, they ruined relationships. I made bad decisions because of it, and it did not help me. So being able to let go of your pride is something that's very hard to do. It can be something that's going to cause you to apologize, something that's going to cause you to go outside of your comfort zone, something that's going to cause you to let go of something that could have hurt you for the rest of your life. But you have to, again, consciously choose to make these decisions and let go of these things that are not benefiting you. And pride is absolutely 100% of the time one of them. All right, so second to last one here is your fear of failure. And I want to talk about this one even more than I've just blabbed about the other ones, because if you are so afraid of failing that you don't do the thing that you're afraid of failing from, then you're not living and you're not giving yourself a fair chance to even potentially succeed. You're literally just setting yourself up with, hey, you're living in this stupid comfort zone, you're living here in this area, you're living here in what you know and being content and being stagnant, that you're not taking risks and you're not doing things that could potentially make you a lot of money, be a good career, make you happy, make you whatever your definition of successful is, because you're so afraid of failing. And so many entrepreneurs and people who are way up here, who have the great businesses and the big names and they're well known and they're wealthy and the definition of success for most people, they fail time after time after time. Their inventions, their ideas, their things fail time after time after time, but they never let the fear of it stop them. And to be honest with you, you're never going to know if something can even be a great thing, if something could be the next freaking, I don't know, Facebook. You just don't know if you're literally so afraid that you kind of like quiver at the idea of taking a risk on yourself. And I will talk about, on my podcast for my job, one of the things we mentioned was passion. And I will say that if you're not passionate enough about something to take the risk on it, then maybe it's not the right thing to take the risk on. That's my opinion. I know, like with YouTube, for example, I always use this as an example. This is something that I thought about for a really long time. I wanted to do for a long time. I was passionate about it. I loved it. And I was letting the, hey, this is going to be weird, or hey, people in my hometown are going to screenshot me and say, who the heck is this girl think she's talking to? Or nobody's going to watch my videos, or I'm not going to get anywhere, or it's not going to matter. And I let these like crazy thoughts and these fears just kind of hold me down for like a year or so before I finally was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And to be honest with you, no, my channel isn't taking off like some people's happens overnight, but that's normal. But I'm happy doing this, and I refuse to let the fear of failing make me actually fail. Because the minute I do that and I say, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, it wins. And the fear wins and it beats me. And time after time of that happening, you end up back in this stupid box. I'm sorry I keep saying stupid this episode, but I'm just really passionate about this topic, because you got to let go of these things. You have to let go of fear. You have to let go of hindering yourself and putting yourself in this small little gray area of the unknown. But you have so many great ideas. You have so many great things. I mean, if you think about it, like, what if somebody had a fear of trying to research the cure to cancer? Like, we would never find a cure to cancer, right? And I am a conspiracy theorist, so I have my own opinions about that. But if somebody had stopped and they said, oh gosh, I'm scared, we probably wouldn't have had, or will never again have, the cure to cancer. Same thing with even the coronavirus. Like, what's going on right now? People who are fearful of it and they don't want to be around it and they're scared and they don't want to do this, they would not have a vaccine, they would not have these things, they would not have ideas of even what's working and what's not working. And it's just so many things that go into it. And if the medical world doesn't amaze you, you guys love Facebook, you guys love YouTube, you're watching my videos, you like Snapchat, and you like using a GPS on your phone so you don't have to use a paper map anymore. How many of you know how to read a paper map, by the way? Drop that comment. But all these things happen because somebody let that fear of failure go and they decided, hey, I'm going to invent this thing, I'm going to do this thing, and now look where we are. We have to be grateful for that. So you also have to do the very same thing for yourself, and stop letting fear be a part of what you're holding on to. Let that thing go. And the last one we're going to talk about is your serious need to control everything. And I will also be the first to admit that I have somewhat of a little bit of OCD, and I have had very, very guilty times like this where I felt a very extreme need to control everything. And while controlling aspects of our life are great, and it is important to be able to control yourself and what's going on in your life, it's also very, very important to make sure you don't hold on to this like strangulation need to control everything, because for one, you are blocking other people's blessings when they're trying to help you, and you're blocking their blessings when they're trying to teach you and get you to a different standard and to a different point than what you may be used to. And for two, you're literally stressing yourself to death over the consistent and constant need to just say, hey, I gotta control this, and this isn't right, and I gotta do this, and all these crazy things that go through our mind when we're trying to control something. So you're, again, hindering yourself and putting yourself in a really bad and crappy situation, because you're literally harming your own stress, your own body, you're harming your relationships, because this crazy, crazy need to just say, yes, I'm in control, I've got it, I'm fine. And you're blocking blessings, you're harming relationships, and you're not benefiting yourself. Out of all 10 of these, I want you to ask yourself, are the things that I mentioned right now, the things that you are holding on to, Are they helping you? How is that working in your life by holding on to the pride and controlling things and finding a need to be perfect and fitting into other people's world and letting your fears stop you and all? Are those things helping you? Are they really working? Because they're not. And I promise you they're not. In one way, shape, or form, those things are harming you and harming your relationships, harming your future. So it's time to let them go. We are, whatever day, 22, I don't know how to do math, but we're a couple days away from Christmas. We're a couple days away from a new year. And you guys know I'm super, super big on just do it now. But if you want to use these things as a New Year's resolution, maybe you got to talk to people first. You got to figure out situations first. Whatever the case is, you've got to do it. We're going into a new year. Let these things go. Let the baggage go. Because if you go into a new year, I promise you, you're setting the standard. So I don't even want you to go into tomorrow. But if you must go in tomorrow, if you must wait until after Christmas for that breakup or for that demotion or for leaving that company or for telling your family how you really feel, if you want to wait until after Christmas, I'm okay with that. But make sure that after that, you move forward. You let these things go because you are so worthy of it. And to be honest with you, until you let them go and literally figure out how to let them go and deal with the damage that comes with that, it's not going to be as easy as saying, all right, I'm done. I'm over it. You're going to have to go to counseling. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to watch YouTube videos. You're going to have to figure out how to heal most of these things before you can truly let them go. But once you let them go, I promise you are on a road to a much happier and healthier version of you. And that is why I'm here. That's why this channel exists. It's because we need to get you to that point of you're blooming, you're blossoming, and now you're growing and you're being the happiest and best version of yourself. So I think these were 10, maybe 11 ideas just because of how I split it up. Things that you have to let go of in order to move on and be happier in this new year and continuously do these things in a lifetime. Never let yourself get reattached and re-baggaged to these issues and to these things. Hope that these helped. If you haven't already, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You guys don't want to miss any future videos. I'm going to be doing a what's to come on my channel for one of the last couple of days of Vlogmas, so it'll be coming up, but I have some pretty exciting things that I'm working on that will be coming on this channel and that I can't wait to share with you guys. So make sure that you subscribe so you can be one of my buds here and you don't miss any future videos. Share, and if you have any comments, make sure you drop them below. What has been hard for you to let go of? What else do you think you need to let go of in order to be happy? And what are your New Year's resolutions? More than anything, I hope you guys remember you are so loved. You matter so, so deeply to the world. You are cared for. You are appreciated. I love you. I hear you. I see you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.